Hey Red Devils, I'm Isabella, Sarah's behind the camera, and today we're going to give you a tour of Hinsdale Central because we love this school. Let's ride. Welcome to our beautiful field house that definitely doesn't radiate any suspicious smells. Wait, what is that? Oh my god, it's an LSRL. That looks like a pretty strong linear positive relationship with no obvious abnormalities and a correlation R of about 0.8 to me. Wait, there's more! Guys, I have never seen this amount of skew before. I think I might pass out. And it's to the right? We definitely want to use the median for this one, along with the IQR for our measure of variability. As we enter the building, you can see that there is a plethora of red and white lockers. Maybe you're wondering what the probability is that you'll acquire a red one on your enrollment at Central. To find this, you'd have to divide the number of red lockers by the number of red and white lockers. Now for something a little more complicated. What's the probability that the wrestling room ceiling will be half missing given that it is a Monday? High. The answer is definitely high. But if you want to be scientific about it, it's the probability of the wrestling room ceiling being half missing and it being a Monday over the probability of it being a Monday. And our answer is still high. Now, Isabella, what's the probability that the AC will be working on a given day? 0. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't we film this inside the actual wrestling room? Well, that's because it's locked, and I think this hole is inside. Here we have the testing center. If I take a test multiple times and have the probability of failing 60% of the time, what is the probability that I will succeed on the 5th try? It's 0.052, or 5.2%. This is what we call a binomial distribution. If we didn't know the fixed number of trials and kept going until we reached a success, that would be classified as a geometric distribution. That was a trick question. Central doesn't offer retakes. While we have you all here, let's talk about all the different types of inference tests you could conduct. First, we have the tried and true one sample significance test. This would be used when you have one sample. Next, there's the two sample significance test, which we use when we are comparing two samples. To determine if you're going to use a z-test or t-test, you have to ask yourself if you know the standard deviation of the population. Just like you might ask yourself where they'll be doing construction again this time. If you do, then z-test is the way to go. Now we have the matched pairs test. Unlike many of your SOCs, this test is used to compare two people who are almost identical in every way, and one is given the treatment while the other is given the control. And there you have it. Now it's time for a segment we like to call, What Are You Listening To? Where we go up to people and ask them, what are you listening to? Wait, what are you listening to?
Daft Punk.
Wait, what are you listening to? Wait, what are you listening to?
Oh, Money So Big by Yeet.
Yeah, my money bigger than my money talking. All niggas, I really don't want my.
Wait, what are you listening to?
Howard.
As you can see, this is a totally random sample of people. This is what we call an SRS. Except we lied. We sampled people during our AP Statistics class, which means everyone does not have an equal chance of being selected, since most people are in other classes right now. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Hey Isabella, recently there have been some concerns regarding senior attendance.
Really?
Yeah, some people have theorized that they don't attend school as much as freshmen, but I mean, that can't be true. See, they're all here.
Well, what if we conducted an inference test to find out? So, the null hypothesis, or the HO, would be
The average days of attendance for freshmen is equal to the average days of attendance for seniors.
and then the alternate hypothesis, or the HA, would be
The average days of attendance for freshmen is greater than that of the average days of attendance for seniors.
in order to perform the significance test, we must first check our conditions.
First, did we take a random sample?
Second,
Is there independence between, meaning did we take a random sample? And is there independence within, meaning is our sample less than 10% of the population?
and third,
Normality. Is our sample size greater than or equal to 30?
we're going to do a t-test because we don't know the population standard deviation. We're going to use a significance level of 0.05.
If we find that our p-value is less than 0.05, we can reject the HO. If it's greater than, then we fail to reject the HO.
Oh, Looks like we reject the hoe. If you want it to be really extra, you could also create a confidence interval, which is the mean of your estimate plus and minus the variation in that estimate. So for example, I could say, we are 95% confident that the difference in the average attendance between the senior class and the freshman class is in the interval 0.23 to 0.34.
If you conduct a 95% confidence interval, that means that if you conduct the test multiple times, you can ensure that with 95% confidence, your interval will include the true estimate.
Sarah, as Taylor Swift once wisely said, I've been having a hard time adjusting. I'm having trouble avoiding bias. It's everywhere.
I'm so glad that you asked. There are a few types of bias we have to avoid. One is voluntary response. If I send out an email asking people to give their opinions on the school lunch, we'll likely get a skewed response, since people who feel strongly about it will be more likely to respond. There's also wording. Take a look.
Given Superintendent Tammy Prentice's subpar performance recently, do you think she should be fired?
See, that question was also leading. You should aim to ask questions in the most neutral way possible.
Do you think Superintendent Tammy Prentice should be fired? Perfect. Well, that's it for a comprehensive tour of HCHS. See you next year, or not.